This is TWiT.
Talk a little bit about your process in coming up with the monetization for DayOne.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we been pretty fortunate in being able to transition to a subscription app, where it started out as a paid app. It was $10 on the Mac and $5 on iOS. It was really consistent with sales over the years, but it wasn't sustainable longer term. Like, it was hard to project and hire more and build up a company around this product without some being able to project revenue and keep it consistently coming in. And the subscription model is so much healthier for software applications, especially ones that have ongoing costs with cloud storage. And I think something that's used and iterating and improving over time, it needs to be actively developed and improved upon. So that worked really well for us. But although it was a hard transition, we had to grandfather users in that had purchased the app before, and then we hoped that the freemium model would work in offering a free tier, and that's what we give away a whole lot. So half the entries created every day are by free users, and they get a lot of value on it. If you're only using one device, for example, that it's your journal data can be backed up with your iCloud backup, so you can get by just fine on the free tier and add one photo per entry. But now we're in a mode of just not being reliant on major releases and new features to sell a new version. Instead, we're just focusing on performance and the things that customers may not notice right away, but over time they make a big difference. And so it really gave us a better perspective and priority on how we develop the app, being subscription. And it worked with users. This is a lifetime use app. These are memories that people are capturing in there that they want to retain forever. Mm-hmm. And though we have JSON and plain text and PDF export always available for free, it is a nice just repository of your personal moments and thoughts that you can gather from anywhere.
Yeah, I find it makes a great travel journal. But now that you have unlimited recording from the watch, I'm thinking I could also use it as a business journal, because I could use it to keep track of meetings. And I mean, the uses go on and on. Unfortunately, with DayOne, you can have multiple journals. So I can have a business journal, a travel journal, and all that. I mean, it's really great. And I have been putting audio into my posts as well, which makes it really a lot of fun. So
that's great.
Keep up the good work, I guess, and keep adding features, because it's pretty amazing what you've done. I really have to say. In fact, here you see I'm started a bucket list of places and I want to go. Another useful, so you can keep lists.
That's great. We are as well. We're close to rolling out templates, which include different types of lists, including a bucket list. So that's you're right in tune with how to use the app.
Yeah,
it's excellent.
It's a great way for me to use to make a photo album, So yeah, you call it a journal. It's a lot more than a journal. Mm-hmm. It's a place to store everything. It can be used as a notepad as well. I really love what you've done with it. I love what you've done with the place.
Do you still use a paper journal ever?
She wants you to put Bujo features into this. She wants Bujo.
Yeah. Do you still?
No, I've never journaled by paper. Oh. No, the reason I created this is I wanted to keep a journal, but could never build a habit with the handwritten thing. I wanted something with me, and Mac Journal was the popular journaling app, but it was a $50 app. And it had grown old by the time the Mac App Store launched. So I was I want something simple and clean and with a mobile component. And it motivated me to journal. And then now that I have been journaling for 8 years, I've realized it's a very underrated practice. There's so many benefits to journaling. Practically, just like capturing notes from a meeting and your impressions like right after, but also it gives you a lot of clarity and gratitude journaling. Definitely, it reduces anxiety and stress, and there's countless benefits. And so I'm hoping to promote those things and bring them, help our users understand ways that they can use it to improve their lives.
I do have to say that and you mentioned an older journaling product on the Mac, and that always is the concern that I have when I invest, as I have, go all in on a product like this, that what happens when you retire, or when you decide we can't make a go of this, what happens to all my content?
Yeah, that's the great underrated feature of the app, is that it's offline first. So everything that's in your journal is stored on your device first. And so you can go offline, and as soon as you reconnect, it can sync back up with our cloud storage. But
it stores it in a format that I could read with other programs. Is it RTFT?
Well, right.
What are you using?
You can always export as either plain text. That's the easiest readable. But then our JSON format is our official export. So
nice.
It's easily machine readable, and includes all the metadata that's captured. So it could be ingested into anything else and without any data loss. And then the PDF export. We also offer like a book printing service, so you can like print out a book right in the app.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh man,
yeah.
Look at that. That's a great idea. That's something you don't need a software to read.
Yeah.
That's a great way to archive stuff. I always say that. What's lasted 1,000 years?
Yeah.
Books. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you decide to run off to Hawaii and your company, we're okay, is what you're saying.
So yeah, if our cloud service just went off the grid, you would still have all your data on your devices that you could export from. Yeah. And that's, I built this thing is what I would want if I were to put my trust in and to use an app like this. I would want the assurance that, I own the data and that I can always access it.
I love it that you're also active. It's in active development with a team of 14 people. I'm not surprised. But for instance, you added Siri shortcuts when shortcuts became available. You're always paying attention to the new technologies, because Apple's always adding new technologies. Boy, they added a lot yesterday. And so I love that. If you want something that's in active development like this, you're always coming up with new ways to put it on the watch. That's fantastic. That's well done.
So was there anything else from WWDC that we haven't mentioned that was exciting to you?
One thing that's kind of unique to us related to the privacy is CryptoKit. It's a new framework that they just introduced. They haven't done a session on it yet, but it was in the release notes. And that is going to make our cryptography, our end-to-end encryption much more efficient and easier to manage. We're using an OpenSSL project that handles a lot of that stuff now, but this is a major upgrade for us.
Tell me about the CryptoKit, because I hadn't read about that. That'll be an interface to strong crypto?
Yeah, I think it's well, I'm not the best one to describe that. One of my top developers was just telling me about it when I was asking the team about some of their favorite things from that have been announced. So I read up on it, but it's not the language I speak.
Yeah. I just, what? I'm glad you're a designer, Paul, because so many apps like this are clearly done by engineers. This app is designed from the ground up to be beautiful, easy to use. I love, for instance, just a little thing. Here I am looking at a picture that's in one of my blog posts, and I want to zoom in on it. It immediately goes full screen, so I can zoom in. Maybe that's an Apple thing, because I think, what is that?
No, we built that.
That's
all that stuff.
Really
has
sweet.
to be done.
You can check your Pokemon ball.
Really?
There.
Yeah, I noticed there's something on her shoulder. What is that? Oh, she's playing Pokemon Go. That's my wife. Cray.
And then you could share just that
That's
picture,
a cool
too.
bike.
Isn't that nice? Yeah. Our son rode off to school on it this morning. Be great in Lehigh, I tell you. Thank you for doing a wonderful, wonderful job with DayOne. It's a must-have app, and I agree with you. It's a great discipline to acquire. It's actually Megan that got me I've been a DayOne user for probably 6 of those 8 years, but I do it for a week and then I stop. And it's Megan, her commitment to her bullet journal, her Bujo.
I'm learning to use DayOne in addition to my bullet journal.
I thought it would be perfect for you.
Because I can't add photos to my bullet journal.
Can you add bullet journal bullets to your DayOne journal?
Of course.
So they're paid.
We have a pretty advanced editor that we built all in-house from the ground up. It's a rich text editor, so checklists, and so originally we were just a markdown plain text, but you
look at this here.
Quotes.
Yeah, it's got all the little things. So there's a great example of, yes, you use Apple technologies, but instead of just using TextKit and leaving it at that, you've actually put in a lot of additional features for people like bullet journal users. That's really, really cool. And I can even put all of this information in it. Automatically it'll take the location, see the map, take the weather. I've loved that feature. That was relatively recent, where it puts the weather in every post. My altitude. Clearly in Utah, that's more important than it is here. Really, 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 really very sweet.
And I love it just because it's not about getting likes, or it's not about sharing everything with everyone.
Hallelujah.
It's just about your own memories, and you can share what you want and not what you don't want.
Yeah. It's definitely inspired by social media, as as I use Twitter, and in the early days before anybody followed me on there, it was I wanted that same outlet of just status updates throughout the day.
Right.
But where it's just for me.
For you, your status updates. Yeah.
Well, Paul,
really
thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us, and hopefully we've introduced DayOne to people who might have not heard about it, and can't wait to see all the new developments.
And if you want a journal, better call Paul.
Yes.
Better
call Paul.
Nice.
All right. Take care, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Leo and Megan.
DayOne.
Awesome. Thank you.
Everybody should get it and be a premium subscriber, because it's really worth it.